The Relaxing Inukshuk. I messed up that shout out during the video, so I'm saying it here at the beginning. Wonderful show, go check it out. Cool mascot, and I don't want to spoil it, so go take a look at that. But it's this awesome natural world environment show from a place that is actually still a natural place, and so go do that. Okay, my brain is not normal. All right, welcome to Star Space Presents. This is a Mondo shout out sort of thing. There's like I think 4 of them, and so it's me, unscripted, so I sound like an idiot because I am an idiot, and you know my brain it's different. So bear with that, and while you do, I'll have something else on the screen to watch, and so it'll make this a little better. And okay, here we go. Hey, Toad here. So yeah, it's been a little while since I made a video. I'm not quite into my next thing yet. You know, there's some stuff brewing and yada. But just kind of a place card, you know, keeping up with the channel sort of thing. So I'm gonna use it to do a couple little things that hopefully entertain you. I want to thank my new subscribers. That's awesome. The channel had a little growth, and that's wonderful. So I'm going to do some shout outs to some of the people aside from myself and I guess Scully that are partially or particularly responsible for that growth, and the first and foremost is of course KRAUT Gaming. Awesome channel. It's probably the biggest channel I watch anymore. I stopped watching the big shows because, you know, there's a limited amount of time, and well, there's just not anything in it for me, is there? Because, you know, I'm evil and I'm a villain and selfish and, you know, space bad guy and all that kind of stuff. But KRAUT Gaming, you gotta check that out. This guy is insane. He's like the most productive person that I think I know on YouTube. Just obsessed with video games of all kinds and collecting every single piece of plastic there is related to video games. I'm expecting any day now for a big avalanche of collection to just, you know, fall and bury the guy. But meanwhile, you get to see a lot of the stuff that you just don't see unless you're expressly searching for some obscure thing. But if you're not, then you will encounter a lot of things on that channel that you were probably unaware of, even if you're a gamer. And there's a lot of information, history, education wrapped into it, with an excellent host who is very entertaining. So you gotta jump onto that. he's ultra productive, and I keep bumping this monitor, sorry about that. He's ultra productive and posts constantly. I can't keep up. It would be a full-time job for me, as any of the YouTube time I spend to watch it all. But maybe you can. So he's going for 1,000 subs, and he's gonna hit it, and I want him to hit it because I know him personally, and I want to know from a selfish place what happens, and so that's a good inside way to discover that. But aside from that, he's one of the hardest working guys on YouTube, and he certainly deserves it. Great channel, so check that out. And through that channel and just being a small part of that audience, all these other gamers are like finding me and jumping on, and that's wonderful. And so I'm gonna make video games like a definite part of this show, but that's such a broad category, and even though Andy's able to cover that, I'm not able to, and I'm not personally interested in covering the gamut of every kind of video game there is. So I'm going to look for more, stuff that I'm capable of playing. I'm not a gamer. I enjoy video games, but I don't identify as a gamer. And so, but there are some over the years and whatnot that I really enjoyed, and so I'm gonna stick to those sorts of games and genres, and also some quick burst things. But I want to make it interesting and entertaining. A lot of people don't, So I want to come up with a way to incorporate it into the other things I do. Excuse me. So I'm gonna do, like blast bits and short things and just kind of wrap them all in. The Hellfire CD goodies that I just finished, the miniseries, was kind of a learning experience and a warm up for things to come. But it's not. It was too focused and too just one thing, and I want to make more of a variety of. Anyway, so I'm thinking episodics. Like if I want to play an epic game, then I've got to figure out how to chop it into bits and make it episodes and put it in the show, so it's not just that. Because these let's play guys and these playthroughs and walkthroughs and commentaries during and all this, let's face it, it's over, and let's face it, those people had a free ride for way too long. So I want to make it something new, or at least to me, because I don't get out much. But so like as if it's a show that you might watch on Saturday morning cartoons or something. So like an episodic. That's what I'm gonna try and aim for. So that's one thing. But the show will do other things too. So, God, where was I? Shout outs. Stories of Nature. You gotta check this show out. It sounded like I said the S word, but I didn't. I just stammered on my way to show. Okay, so Stories of Nature. It's New Zealand, all right, and it's still a natural place and part of the natural world, which unfortunately is only going to exist for, I don't know, maybe 2 more generations, and then it's all over. But in the meantime, New Zealand is a gorgeous, gorgeous natural place, and Stories of Nature goes out and films New Zealand, but it's like I don't know, it's very zen, it's very meditative. It's like, if you're in a bad place, check out Stories of Nature, and it'll pop your head open, and you'll be like, whoa, okay, all right, I'm good. I can keep going now. You know what I mean? Uh, Sometimes the stories that nature tells are very obvious. Other times they're very subtle, uh, and the show keeps improving. It's like, you know, this magical place of wonder, but the equipment keeps getting better. The sound now has gotten phenomenal. So you gotta check this out. Do yourself a favor and go and just chill and click on one or two of these, and man, it's like a drug. You're just gonna feel good, and you're just gonna want to go and do this again and again. So definitely check out Stories of Nature, and you know, through Stories of Nature, I found what was it? Okay, I'm gonna have to cut here and edit while I think of it. I want to say the Relaxing Inukshuk. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. And so, yeah, that one's in northern Canada somewhere, and also still a natural place. And yeah, you know what? I'm starting to get burned. Where was I? Okay, well, maybe I should take a breather. I'm gonna hit pause. Everything science fiction. Everything science fiction. You gotta go check that show out. So this guy saved this show. I was on my way out the door. I was like, you know what? This is no. And then this dude was like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? And I was like, yeah, okay, what the hell? And from that, you know, it sparked more of this. So if you like this, say thanks to Everything Science Fiction. Go over there and check it out. If you don't like this, blame it on Everything Science Fiction. Head over there and let him know. All right. So he's a professional writer, and he writes all the time. He's got, you know, multiple publications, and just reads excessively. I don't know how he does it, but and his show is a whole bunch of different stuff, but it's like expressly somehow interwoven into science fiction. So if it's blatantly science fiction, then, you know, he'll cover stuff like that. But if it's like seemingly science fiction, then he'll find a way to bring it into science fiction. And some things that don't even seem as if they are science fiction, bam, they're science fiction. And he'll explain it, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you're right, this is science fiction. But so he's gonna be on this show, which is awesome. But I gotta write that and make something, you know, because it's a little bit intimidating, because, you know, he's a professional writer and stuff. And I can write a little bit, and, you know, enough to, you know, make something decent and entertaining and stuff. But I've got to think of, you know, well, okay, and it's got to be right, and it's got to be good, and it's approaching, but I haven't gotten there yet. But that'll be awesome. So that'll be something to see in the near future, and you know, I want to just like make it really good, and then hand it off to him. And then he doesn't gotta like work it, you know. He can just tweak it, and bam, there it is. I don't want him to have to do it, because he's, you know, helping me. So it's got to be it's got to be right and ready and all that kind of stuff. So that's not tomorrow, but that's coming up. All right, well that's 3 shout outs, or 3.5. Um, okay, let me pause again. I got a camera. Yeah. So I haven't unboxed it yet or figured it out. That kind of stuff like that is very difficult for me personally. But I got one, and so, the show is going to have one. Yes, I've gone this entire time so far on YouTube without a camera. But now I have one, so that should prove interesting for me and everyone, hopefully. So that's kind of news, I suppose. And back to the gamers. I appreciate everybody jumping on board, and Andy making me part of that community in a way. That's a crazy place. I don't understand how the stores over there even have a single video game on the shelf the way that all these guys buy video games, and they've got these massive, Anyway, I'm not a big community person though, so it's like I really do try and spend some time reciprocating, but I can't always do it. I get burned out, and I don't want to be social, and I just get off of YouTube, and I'm gone for a bit. I can't live on YouTube. It makes me insane. I'm just not. I'm not a social person. I have to have me time and sit and think and relax and let my creativity flow. I can't just turn on the camera and, even though that's what I'm doing today, but you can see why. Unedited, unscripted, I'm crap, and I can't do that. I don't feel like it's a good thing. So, if I'm not actively watching, it's that reason, plus it's time. I mean, if you're just gonna turn on a camera and vomit into it like this, then I'm not gonna be able to watch all of that. I'm sorry, it's just not possible, because there's a lot of people doing that. But I really do try and reciprocate. So I appreciate this community thing. I'm not a community person. I'm just not. I don't have time to do all these challenges and all this kind of stuff. It's not that I wouldn't like to, but the way I make videos, if I do one of these challenges, then I go all out and do something crazy, and but yeah, I'm not just gonna my 5 things and just bark at the camera. Not gonna do it. But I do appreciate everybody, and I'm grateful. So I'll do some of that, and I'll do my best to do some of it. But please don't invite me to do a bunch of stuff, because I can't do it. And I don't know how to play the tag thing and do the, it would serve me well to be able to do all that, but I don't know how. I don't know how to do anything with computers. I'm an old man, and I wasn't born with a computer, and that's just the way it is. But anyway, so yeah, the camera, got it for a recent birthday. Had to get through that. Went through a depression bout that always happens for me on a birthday. Pulled through that, got back into normalcy for me. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I'm not the worst. I try and stay organized. I'm clean. But if I start doing other things and I don't stay on top of that, then I get a lot of clutter. So I need to clean the station, get rid of some stuff. terrible at getting rid of stuff, but I'm improving at it. I recognize that I'm a hoarder, and I've come a long way with it. I've made a lot of progress with it. But had the birthday, went through the depression, and it's just bought some things. I found a space merchant out here floating by. Stopped in. I was like, video games, and the space merchant was happy to oblige. So I'm going to show you these controllers that I got, because I'm obsessed with controllers lately. So I'm into the Raspberry Pi Zero, big time. RetroPie, big time. Right now, that's you gotta try RetroPie. It's awesome. I mean, seriously, you can get rid of all your crap, throw it in the dumpster, get RetroPie, and only the newest stuff isn't covered. This thing, it does a lot. Alright, this, it doesn't do everything, and there's some stuff that it doesn't do, but it does so much. I mean, it's endless. The stuff you can discover that you didn't know about, or didn't have, or never had, or wanted, or it's just, it goes on and on. There's just so much. Well, for me, I wanted the simplest controller and the simplest systems to start with on it, and but there's a minimum. You need basically SNES controller and up to use RetroPie properly. And the reason is, here, I'll show you on this first item. I will show this NES controller. It's a USB, it's a knockoff, and it has no logo. I don't even have to paint it. I love that. Custom button setup, black D-pad to go with the black backing. It's a two-tone, and the blue ring and the Super Famicom button layout. I like the top blue button. It blends with the blue ring, and it also just sets off all 4 buttons. Anyway, so this is the first. The reason that you need this is the bare minimum for RetroPie, and in my opinion, you can do less, but you shouldn't, in my opinion. Oh, and black LNR. Ooh, well, I guess it goes with the two-tone. Anyway, so if you press, I can't remember which, but one or the other, select and say this one, maybe it's this one. Anyway, selecting this is save, and selecting this is load, or it's the other way around, but it's one of the two. So you need these for that. If the game originally had its own save states, you can use those as well. But very handy, and a very big part of the RetroPie is that. And you need start and select both, because if you press both at the same time, you can exit the game, whatever game you're playing. Let me play something else. Of the tens of thousands of video games on my RetroPie, blip, you're out. So this is kind of the bare minimum. But I wanted the bare minimum. I don't understand why people want these controllers with all this stuff. But, I'm not a gamer, so for me it stops at 32-bit. I'm not going past 32-bit. That's me. 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, I'm done. I don't need anything else. I really don't. I don't care. When you get into the early 64-bit, to me it was a giant headache. I hated it then, I hate it now. It looks terrible, and it gives me a headache to watch it. It still does. Not as bad as it did initially, but and then if you go beyond that, then when the computers finally get caught up, and yes, it looks great now, it looks real, all that, But there's so many buttons and, dials and spinners and um, tiny joysticks and thumb things, and it's like, I'm too old. I can't do all that. I'm not interested in that. Forget it. I'm out. I'm an old man. I don't care. Go have fun, kids. Enjoy. That's not for me. So I don't need, even though RetroPie, you can plug any controller in it. So far, it's picked up everything I've plugged into it. And I have an Xbox 360 wired controller, and I have a PS3 controller. I even got a free PS3 that I reset back to factory and have yet to even use. It's packed now for this upcoming move, and it's still months away. But anyway, so yeah, bare minimum for me. And my favorite games are mouse and keyboard, old 32-bit computer games. Those are still my favorites. I like the epic isometric BS, Diablo, Fallout, Baldur's Gate. Those are still what I enjoy the most. But I like arcade games and all this blah blah blah. So this merchant, I was like, all right, yeah, definitely give me that. I want that. So yeah, custom buttons, and I was like, what else you got? And he was like, all right, so this one is on fire. Your D-pad and A and B are violent fire magic, and your turbo buttons are so hot that the flames are blue. And I was like, oh yeah, I gotta have that. Okay, give me that one. What else you got? And he was like, alright, well, this one is perfect for your RPGs. You have your gold coins and your green forests for all of your Zelda-like bullcrap. And I was like, oh hell yeah, okay, give me that one too. What else you got? And he was like, well, from the blue aqua world of ice something, I give you the two-tone blue stone. And see, it's gray on the back, and it's got the gray buttons up top. Blue D-pad, A and B, and red turbo, because, yeah, red turbo. I mean, it's turbo. What else you got? I'll take that too, by the way. Yeah, what else you got? And he was like, well, let's see, what else do I got? I have this in the dark controller for playing only by the light of your screen. You have traditional A and B, Famicom, bright. When you're on the A, you can see the B easily, and red turbo, and red left and right. And I was like, yeah, man, that's awesome. But what about the D-pad? You can't see that in the dark. You don't need to see that in the dark. You can feel it. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. All right, give me that one too. I need that. What else you got? And he was like, let's see. You bought almost all of my... Oh, here we are. From the bizarro world of the bizarre bizarrians. This one has reverse X and Y colors from Famicom because they are weird. And also the gray D-pad and two-tone. And I was like, oh yeah, I gotta have that. Give me that one too. And that was all. That was enough. They were real cheap. And so that was kind of a happy birthday. sort of thing. Anyway, in all seriousness, I got my hands on some cheap USB controllers and did a bunch of button swapping and stuff and made some custom nonsense for myself. It was a fun project. It only took a couple of hours, and also, and yes, they're cheap and they're not all that great, but you can improve them slightly if you know this and that, and I know this and that. So there's ways to make a bad controller a little better, and I know some of those ways. So I also improved the performance on them. Anyway, but this is ridiculously long now. So I'm gonna go, but I want to thank everybody again. And I'm kind of between what I don't know yet quite what I'm gonna do next, but it's starting to brew. I'm starting to think of some things. So I got some great projects coming up. Hopefully you'll be back and tune in despite this little thing that I did today. All right, and take care and all that sort of stuff. Don't have any children. Okay, there's too many people in the world. Just stop having children. Period. All of you. And so with that, all right. See you next time on Star Space Presents.